Life can change in an instant. For many wheelchair users, the struggle to push forward is a daily challenge.
After years of development and countless prototypes, we created Rib Grips, the revolutionary wheelchair hand rim covers with built-in ribs for ultimate grip and comfort.
No more slick surfaces, no more heat burns, just pure, reliable grip. Rib Grips, empowering you to push forward with ease. Rib Grips, get a grip on your freedom. Discover the difference. Visit ribgrips.com and use promo code GRIP today. You just found the perfect product that helps with staying cool during hot summer runs. No more gross warm water. Stay cool with this product from Gear Handle. This hydration tube cover helps keep your water cool and easily accessible. Stay hydrated during those long summer runs or even delay from freezing in the winter. Plus, they're compatible with various brands of water bladders and come in various colors. Visit gearhandle.com and use promo code H2O today.
This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
I tried to fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas. The trailer park is nice and dark, deep in the heart of Texas. That drinks his brew and he spits his chew, deep in the heart of Texas. The TV blares, but no one cares.
All right. This is a special episode. This is an extra special episode. This is an extra special episode.
Got all the sauce.
The Szechuan sauce. And it was called that special McDonald's sauce for
Szechuan sauce?
Szechuan sauce.
Szechuan
sauce.
That was a Rick and Morty thing, right? That brought it back.
Rick and Morty. Was it Rick and Morty special? Yeah, it was.
They're the ones that brought it back. Originally, it was Mulan. That's where it came from.
Yeah, the only thing, my only claim to fame is that I know the guy who did the pilot episode.
Oh, yeah.
F.
Oh, and you were saying that...
F did the pilot for Rick and Morty.
But you were saying that What's-His-Face has something else coming out.
Oh, Andy Merrill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Andy Merrill, you want to go ahead and do the intro?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
And then we'll talk about Andy Merrill.
Welcome to
Bois.
King of the Hill podcast. I'm Mike.
And I'm Rusty.
This one's weird because Rusty's going to be out of town this weekend.
So we're doing something a little...
We're doing a weird episode,
freaky-deaky.
but we'll get back at it next week. So just letting you know, there'll be one episode this week, and it'll be video. You are watching it, hopefully, or listening to it.
Hopefully, yeah.
And
we're live, too, so shout out to everybody that's watching on the YouTube.
And then we'll catch up
somebody
again.
said they farted. Sorry about that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Riveting
stuff.
We'll catch up again next week. So.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get y'all back and lined out. We
We're
like
good.
these episodes. This is probably what
These
we
are-
live for. These are a relief
BS
for us.
episodes. These are the ones
Yeah.
where we. Well, and here's the thing: when you're doing a show like this, it's super labor intensive, right? And it takes me a couple hours to get through all the notes and all the stuff that I do for the show, and to have a week where I know that I don't have to come up here on Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, it's a good feeling.
Holy
It's
crap.
a good feeling, and it is for
'cause I
me
don't-
too. You know, too. Sometimes it's
Sure.
nice to have that reprieve.
I don't know if y'all know this or not, but I work pretty much 7 days a week
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
last
yeah.
5 years. So it's very nice to be able to take some days off. My wife's out of town this week, and so she'll be back Friday, so it'll be
man.
nice.
It'll just be a bunch of nut scratching and
Well, I
popcorn eating and movie watching.
I told her last night, I said, when you're out of town, there's zero incentive for me to go home. I mean, because why? So I just stayed up here till like 9 o'clock last night, just farting with stuff and making things and
Just
doing
hanging
things.
out. Yeah.
I mean, shit, I was going to do the same thing at home, so why not?
Well, you should live stream it next time so the rest of us could
Yeah,
watch while
I
you're
guess
fiddling
right.
around. Yeah.
I guess you're right. So have you seen this? And I know you have, but and I'm going to sound like an old man when I say this, but this day in my life trend,
Day in my life.
where
trend.
people just film the regular mundane.
Oh yeah,
shit
super
they do during
mundane
the
stuff.
day.
It's funny that you say that because I came across a guy the other day that he does the same thing every single day, and he records it.
Okay.
So it's like a different outfit, but
same thing.
But it's the same thing. It's like wake up at 4 a.m., work out for an hour, eat, do breakfast for 45 minutes, commute to work 15 minutes, walk to work, commute to work 15 minutes. So he lives where he works, I guess. And it's like all those little steps in life. Yeah, no, I don't really get the appeal, but it's pretty crazy. And
So-
we got someone on the live stream. Grandma used to leave hickeys on me without using her mouth.
Oh, nice.
Whoa, God.
I'm assuming that was a vacuum situation or something.
I don't even want to assume.
So
I don't even want to assume.
When I was working out at the educational place,
Yeah.
I used to do a thing every morning where I would turn my phone on and record myself driving to work, listening to music or whatever.
Okay.
And then I turned that into and if you guys ever want to see it, I could probably put it on like Patreon or something. But it was called Truck Stories. And eventually it turns into aliens landing on the planet and trying to take my soul through music. And so
that's pretty crazy. Yeah, you should
it's
post
like-
that or something.
Yeah, it's like 8 episodes or something like that. And it's
Yeah, I'd
really
be
dumb.
interested in that. That's pretty
But
funny.
it was fun. It was fun. Honestly, I used to make all kinds of shit. And it's starting to come full circle because, we were talking about the other show, the comic book show that I do, and I'm starting to wear masks on all those.
Yeah, no, that comic
that-
book show is pretty good. I really like the comic book show.
And then that doesn't
I
even,
really want to be a part of that. I like
yeah,
that a lot.
you will be.
Yeah, I love
it-
that show.
And it doesn't even and none of that compares to the fact that I used to dress up like the devil and make fun of bad movies. So
Yeah, no,
There's
that was
that.
pretty good too. There's actually it's funny you say that. There is a I didn't find her this way, so please don't judge me.
Yeah, what you got?
She's an OnlyFans content creator.
oh, dear, no.
But the way I found her
Yeah.
was she is
In
a
the prone
spooky
position.
movie reviewer.
Oh,
So
like an Elvira kind of thing.
kind of like an Elvira thing.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
man, I wish I could remember the name of it. But
Man, I wish I had somebody here in town that would do that because I would take that in a heartbeat. Some lady that dressed up all goth and reviewed movies. That would be fantastic.
better say the audio's funky. Let me turn this around.
Oh. The audio's funky on the live stream?
No, the audio's funky because of my phone. Yeah, because
Ew.
we don't have. We're not. They're not. They're not listening to
Yeah,
us
yeah.
through
Sure.
this.
Is that any better?
That's as best as I could do for you.
Fantastic.
So
Hopefully
that's better.
there's no immediate feedback, so I don't know.
Nah,
I don't know
we
how that works.
yeah, and then maybe next time we set it up through everything else. But
Yeah.
so this guy says, Thai Syndicate. I like to dress up as a devil and have my pastor
Yeah.
touch me.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I didn't
Sure.
really-
Yeah, that's a thing.
Okay. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's how the Catholic Church got started.
Yeah. Like I said, I've been
Sorry,
listening.
Catholic.
I've been like I said, I've been listening to a lot of
Yeah, so you found this
Greek.
online, or you found this OnlyFans model,
oh yeah.
and she used to dress up and review movies, spooky
Yeah,
movies.
spooky movies. I can't remember. I wish I could remember her name.
That's all right.
But yeah, you said you dressed up
That
as the
can't be
devil.
is that
Well,
the
you
end of
said
the
well that was
story?
the end of it. You said
Oh,
you
okay.
dressed up as the devil.
I
She
did.
dressed up as
Yeah.
a spooky,
Yeah, yeah.
slutty spooky kind
Yeah,
of thing.
I got you. And that seems like that would be super easy to do. I just wish I had somebody that would devote the time to do it.
Yeah.
So if anybody out there is hot and spooky and you want to review movies, please let me know.
hot and spooky.
Hot and spooky. That's how I like my my soup. Hot and spooky. Okay, so let's
No, Andy Merrill. That was the one thing I
Oh,
was
yeah,
telling you
that's right.
about.
Yeah, go for it.
So I keep up with a lot of animators, a lot of people that were creators for different cartoons. I've
Yeah.
worked with some personally on podcasts and stuff
Yep.
like that. And
that podcast
so
was good.
It was
by the
good.
way.
I
It was
loved
very
it, man.
good.
I
yeah.
really enjoyed it. I'm gonna have to. I don't know. Either find another animator that's willing
Mhm.
to come on, or just
just go for
rue
it.
the day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one or the
we'll
other.
see how it goes. You still got all the assets and everything for it, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, well
Yeah.
we'll revisit that. But Andy Merrill is the creator of the Brack Show, and he was a part of early Adult Swim, like
Mhm.
super heavily invested in everything to do with early Adult Swim, Space Ghost Coast to Coast, all that stuff. That's like he was a part of the brainchild for that. So he, as we all think. growing up that these people are making, hundreds of millions of dollars and they're all filthy rich, all these animators and people who create things. Well, that's not generally the case because the executives generally walk away with all the money and the creators are left holding peanuts,
Right.
having to sign the rights away to their belongings.
That's usually the
to
way
make
it is
money.
in most areas. The music, animation, all of those things.
But he's back. So they have a checkered past hour. It's like a chunk of time block on Adult Swim where they
Right.
play, animation from the past or whatever.
Right.
And they're bringing back some older stuff, I guess. Because he signed some. He said I signed some employment paperwork, whatever
cool.
that means. So
Good for him.
and he said he's cut down to 2 days a week doing Amazon delivery. So shout out to Andy
Well,
Merrill,
good.
man. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, no kidding.
As somebody who grew up on the Brack Show and who enjoyed the Brack Show, I appreciate everything that you did for the industry.
Brack Joe was fantastic.
Also, Checkered Past is also airing the Johnny Bravo pilot for the first time.
Oh,
So the pilot, I
I-
guess the original pilot didn't ever
it did
air.
not. It did not. And I think there's 2 of them. I think there's 2 versions of it.
Oh, so there was a clean cut one, and then there was one
Yeah.
that was a little bit like,
little
"Hey,
suggestive.
baby,
Yeah.
let me grab up
Yeah.
on you, baby."
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Something like that.
So
Yeah.
whatever he
Yeah.
says.
Yeah, a lot of hair gel on.
We got an
on
owl in chat.
people's-
Who?
Oh, very
with
nice.
question
Well, it's
marks.
us.
Yeah.
That's who. Okay, so do we want to talk about
Talk about everything.
yeah, I
Talk
got
about
you.
anything, man.
So there was a thing that I had printed out at home and I forgot to bring it because Jesus. It is 10 King of the Hill characters you would want to have a beer with.
Oh, we could just go off the top on that one. We
Yeah.
could just go through them.
Well, I'm just gonna mention the names and
Okay.
you tell me why
Yeah,
or
yeah.
why not, right?
Okay.
So John Redcorn's number 1.
No, I wouldn't have a beer with him.
You would not.
I just don't feel like he's a fun drunk.
No, I think you're right about
I don't want to
that.
be stereotypical or whatever, but I was always there was always that epithet. That's probably not the correct term.
It's all right.
Whatever. There was always that saying, you don't give Native American fire water
Mhm.
or whatever. So
mhm.
I don't know. I feel like all of the repression and stuff that he has, I feel like if he drank, it would all come out, and he would just be not comfortable. He's the kind of guy that would either cry on your shoulder or punch you in the neck.
I think you'd get both because I think he'd go through severe mood swings.
Yeah.
Because I believe he has a lot of depression.
No, I think he's got a
And
lot of depression for sure.
it's-
Like,
it's
and
over
if not
Joseph.
depression, he's got a lot of
He's got guilt too.
repressed emotions,
Yeah,
if nothing
yeah.
else. Like he's got the amount of emotions and shit that he's got on top of him.
Yeah,
It just
he's-
he's layered. It's so layered. His
he's
like
got that
fuckery.
He's got that whole white man thing, which is obviously there because there's several episodes about it. He's got the affair that has now ended. He's
Multiple affairs,
He's
right?
he's got a son that doesn't even know him. I mean, there's a lot to go on there. So I think that if he gets drunk, you go through a crying jag, you go through a punch in the shoulder jag, and then I think he gets up on stage and tries to sing Winger or somebody like that, because he's a big hair metal guy. So I think he wants you to watch him while he sings that.
Well, I got some chatters in
What was
chat
it?
here.
Fudge Bottom? What was the name of his band?
Oh,
Super Fudgeathon?
no, his band is Mountain Fudge Mountain.
Mountain Fudge Clock.
Big
or
Fudge
something.
Mountain or
Yeah,
something like
Big
that.
Fudge Mountain. Maybe that's
Maybe,
it. Yeah.
I don't know.
These people will tell us.
Yeah, but so we've got Super ASDKE Black Ant. I'll call him Black Ant. He's
Okay.
got that in parentheses.
Okay.
I wouldn't want a beer around Peggy. She's bitchy enough sober.
That's true.
I'd agree with you.
Absolutely true.
I was in a box. Shout out to him.
Hey,
we've
I was in
talked
a
to him
box.
before.
We've had him on before, right?
No, not him. I don't
Oh.
think. I think.
Well, I'd
no,
love
it
to have
wasn't
you
him.
on.
I'd
How
love
about
to
that?
have him on.
Yeah.
He said, "I'm definitely getting drunk. I'm definitely avoiding a drunk John Redcorn." Ty Syndicate
That's
says,
true.
"Getting drunk with Bobby Hill or Mr. Strickland." And then Ty Syndicate said, "I'd have a beer with Bill and try to convince him he is gay and we are soulmates." Big Mountain Fudge Cake is the
Big
band
Mountain
name.
Fudge
Big
Cake.
Mountain
There we go.
Fudge Cake.
All right, number 2, men, Sousa News and Phone.
You know what? I feel like she's like the.
I think she'd be fun.
I think she'd be fun to be drunk with, and
Yeah.
I think she would probably drink. So I'm gonna kind of give you what they might drink too. So John
Sure.
Redcorn is probably drinking like
I think it's
straight vodka,
I
straight
think-
whatever
I think it's
he's
whiskey.
drinking.
I
Straight
think it's
whiskey,
whiskey,
straight
yeah.
vodka, whatever
Yeah.
he's drinking, he's drinking.
I think it's
straight.
always brown whiskey or
But,
brown liquor. Yeah,
But for Sufa phone, I imagine she's
that has nothing to do with him being brown. I'm just
No,
saying.
it
I think there are different. As somebody who was a drunk, I can tell you there's a very big difference between clear liquor and brown liquor.
and beer
And-
wine.
yeah, and
it's
brown
all, There's
liquor-
all different drunk feelings.
Brown liquor always made me want to fight the furniture.
Yeah,
so
yeah, no, for
that's.
sure.
I think that's probably what he's drinking.
I
Yeah.
think that's what he's drinking too.
Yeah.
Sufa phone. I imagine she's one of like a cosmopolitan
Mm.
or a mint julep.
I think she's a cheap drunk. Number
Yeah.
one.
But I
And
think she likes fancy stuff. So
I-
if you,
I agree.
So if you pull up with like the bagged liquors,
Yeah.
like a bag of
Yeah.
mint julep or something
Sure.
like that, because that's what
Sure.
they do. They
Well, it's those
they
little,
fancy up those cocktails and they put them in plastic bags
those little
so they can
club-
feel great.
It's those little club cocktail, right? The ones in the little cans, you know,
Yeah,
you pop
yeah,
the top,
yeah,
and all of
yeah.
a sudden you got a screwdriver. Well, no, it tastes like crap. So
Yeah, they don't taste very good. Very strong alcohol.
I personally think,
taste.
well, and here's a tip for all of you, by the way.
A tip.
A tip from somebody who drank a lot. Don't buy that crap at the grocery store. That stuff is not real alcohol.
They've
It's
got
all
that,
it's all wine based. Even
banana
the
stuff.
Fireball, it's wine based.
Oh, it's all wine based. They couldn't sell it
And
at the
it
grocery
sucks.
store. They couldn't sell all the stuff they sell at the grocery
Nope.
store if it had liquor in
Nope,
it.
that's
That's the
right.
reason
Don't-
why when you look at all that stuff, it's like a malt liquor or
Yeah.
a wine base.
Don't let them fool you. It's not real.
And I'm in the wine industry,
Not a
so
real
you can take
thing.
that with a grain of salt.
So I think men, yes, I think you're right. Cosmopolitan, anything with a big umbrella in it or whatever.
Fancy,
you know,
yeah,
fancy
like
shit.
fancy ass drinks.
But
yeah.
then I think there comes a point when men, she gets to a certain level of drunk and just goes to sleep. I think she's one of those that just boom, oh no, I'm out.
I think she's one of two extremes. She's either that or she's jump on the table and
Huh?
dance to Madonna, touch
Well,
like a virgin for the very first time.
Maybe, and I think that maybe that's a little manic phase she goes through before she just goes to sleep. All right, so the next one is Dale.
Nope.
Why
That's
is that?
another person I
Why
wouldn't
is
want to
that?
get drunk with. He just seems like I wouldn't say he's a depressing drunk,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure he would probably be one of those people that would like press you on certain stuff. Like
Sure.
there was multiple shooters on JFK.
Sure.
No. There was multiple. Right.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
Are you sure? Are you're right? And
Yeah.
they would push you to try to agree with them.
He's that guy
To
that
the
while he's
point-
talking to you, he's smacking
He's slapping
you in the
your shoulder like,
and all
"Hey,
that stuff. Yeah,
did you
yeah,
see that on
yeah.
the news? Did you see that?"
Not punch you.
It
but
ain't
just say,
real.
Bleh,
Yeah,
bleh, bleh,
yeah,
you
that
know,
kind of
kind
thing.
And I
Yeah.
think also he would strip down to his skivvies.
Eventually,
I think
yeah.
he'd be in his hat and his whitey tighties, and he would just be throwing them back with you, telling you all about how JFK came from the moon. or
Yeah,
whatever,
something
you
like
know,
that.
kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
JFK's from the moon. JFK's smoking moon rocks.
Here's the thing: it might be fun once, right? Because you'd have
Yeah.
some stories to tell. But after that, I don't think
Kind
I'd
of like
do it.
that. Have you ever seen that? What's it called? That Dracula raps or whatever, where it's like that
Oh,
old
no.
man. It's like an older guy with like a.
Dresses up like Dracula and he raps.
Well, he doesn't really rap. He just has a bunch of nonsensical stuff
Okay.
like a pop three perk 30s, but he's like a 60-year-old man
Three
saying
perk
it.
30s.
He's like a 60-year-old man
Jesus
saying it, and then
Christ.
he's got on Dracula Flow. You need to look up Dracula Flow.
Dracula
I'll
Flow.
show it to you after this.
Is there Dracula
But,
core also?
It is absolutely ridiculous shit.
Okay.
He's like just crazy stuff like we're smoking Agent Orange and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just crazy. It's. I'll show you later. It's
I'm
funny.
gonna give you guys a tip, by the way. Not everything's an era. We have to stop referring to everything as an era.
Oh, yeah.
Everything these days is an era. Well, I was going through this era. Well, I'm going through my block era or my blick era, or blah blah blah.
Oh,
Whatever. Fuck off. Stop saying it. Just because Taylor Swift thinks it's an era on everything doesn't mean you have to.
Yeah, the Dracula Flow guy has a he has the Dracula Widow's Peak, but it's drawn on with a Sharpie, so he's kind of like slightly bald, and it's just like colored in. It's pretty crazy.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
funny
that.
as shit.
Okay, so the next one is Tilly.
Oh, it's Hank's mom.
Hank's mom, Tilly.
I just don't see her as a drinker. I see her as
I
a
don't think she
teetotaler.
drinks much. Yeah, I don't
I think
she
she's a
drinks much.
teetotaler.
Now, I think
I was in a box and I'm going through my bois era.
okay, that one I'll allow.
We'll allow that one. We'll let that one fly.
So
Heck yeah, we'll let that one fly.
I think with her new husband, Gary. I think
Gary, okay.
maybe she throws back a little Manischewitz every once in a while.
Manischewitz, okay.
You know, just
All
as
right.
a little like aperitif. You know,
Mashugana?
after supper or whatever, you have a little thing, settles your stomach. You feel nice. You can go to sleep.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
all of those things. I think Carl Reiner could
Straight
talk
out the
her into
dreidel.
it. Yeah, yeah.
Taking bong rips out the dreidel.
That's a big dreidel.
Actually, there's a young Jewish rapper that I really like right now. That is he's really good, I think. Anyway, there's a guy that he collaborates a lot with that was on Eminem's album recently. And I just hate that I can't remember the kid's name off the top of my head.
All right.
I always forget people's names. BLP Kosher.
Okay.
He's got a song that in his song he says, "Pass the blunt to Anne Frank."
Jesus
And
Christ.
there's also another Jewish rapper that's in one of the videos with him that has
Yeah.
Anne Frank tattooed to the side of his face.
Oh my God.
It is insane, but he's good. BLP Kosher. I actually, as a person who I grew up enjoying poetry,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of led to my love for rap music too. And he has really good like scheme.
He's got a
rhyme
good flow.
scheme. He's got
Yeah.
really good like
Yeah.
rhyme schemes and stuff.
So the next one is Lucky.
Lucky.
Okay, so let me tell you. Let me tell you.
Yes and no.
Yes, that's exactly right. Because
Yes,
there
and
are
no, it's tough.
times that I would love to go drinking with Lucky.
Yeah.
And those times are when I'm pissed and I want to knock down mailboxes and tip cows and
Yeah.
shit like that. Lucky is your man.
Lucky to me is that it could go either way kind of thing. You could either end up just relaxing at home, listening to some music, maybe
Mhm.
pull out a guitar or two
Mhm.
and fiddle on the
Maybe.
guitar. Either that or you're at Valero at 3 a.m. hammered in the
I think
back of his
that's more
pickup
like it
truck
right there,
with
yeah.
cans everywhere.
that's more
so I
like
feel like he's one of those dudes that's unpredictable.
When I was
You know who reminds me of Lucky?
who's that?
He reminds me of Dwight Yoakam in Sling Blade.
Oh yeah, sure.
It's like
Sure.
he's like a cannon. You never know if he's going to go off
Oh,
or
yeah,
not, kind
yeah.
of thing. When he's drunk,
I-
not when he's sober, he's kind and everything. But
So when I was 19,
Doyle,
I was managing a beta only store.
wow,
You can imagine how many customers I had a day. You
probably
can count them
very
on one friggin' hand.
Very few going into a beta store.
The other thing about it,
superior technology though.
that's right. The other thing about it is, at that time in this city, there was a Chinese liquor store that would deliver.
Okay,
And once they got to your door, if you got cash, they ain't asking. Right. And so I would get a lot of liquor delivered over to the video store. And then me and my friends would just go insane out in the parking lot. So you know where that consignment furniture place was?
yeah.
It was in that parking lot.
Right there.
Right. And you know how big that parking lot
It's a
is.
big parking
it's
lot,
gigantic, right? And so that's the place where
That's right over here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's a place where, number one, we would take my friend's truck, and there was a like a hill in the back that just went up into people's yards,
Yeah.
super steep. But our idea was, let's see if we can get the truck up it. Right? It should have turned over and killed us. But,
yeah.
But anyway,
But you made it up.
we did that. Yes, we did that. Yeah, you really got a lot to show for it.
Yeah.
But we got that. We used to take food and chunk it on the roof and stuff like that. And then one time, so this all kind of goes back to hanging out with Lucky. This is how I feel like it would go, right? You get good and plastered, then you go out in the parking lot. Your friend gets in his truck. You strap yourself onto the front hood of the truck,
Oh,
and then he
damn.
starts doing donuts.
Yeah.
Right? That was me. And so he decided to just stop the truck. I flew off, shattered my wrist. Didn't know it, though,
Yeah.
and was just so proud that I kept the cigarette in my mouth. You know, that was,
stayed
like
though,
the
right?
big thing.
Well,
Yeah,
as long as
yeah.
you didn't drop your cigarette.
But I'm just saying, that's how I think a night with Lucky would go.
Well, I grew up around a lot of people who
Oh,
drank,
sure.
and the one that always killed me, I thought was the funniest thing, is
I don't know how you live around here. and
how
not
people.
drink.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's
yeah,
tough.
yeah. And it's such a ubiquitous thing. There's so
Oh,
many
boy.
people doing it.
You're not
It's just
kidding.
hard to escape it.
Well,
But
and you don't notice it really until you don't drink.
yeah, and then it's
Dude,
everybody's
it's
like, I got a
friggin'
beer.
everywhere.
Oh, I make it a point. I'm that asshole or dickhead that they're like, oh, why don't you drink? Oh, because it ruins lives.
Well,
Well, they always. If you want to ask, that's the thing is people always like they're like, oh, they kind of not turn their nose
Yeah.
up to you, but it's
Yeah.
weird to them that you don't drink.
yeah.
So when you tell them, they're like, well, why don't you drink? And I was like,
I-
oh, because it ruins people's life. And then you look in their eye, and you see that look in their eye of desperation. They're like, please help me.
So, yeah, you don't even realize how much of it is out there until you stop. Yeah, in October, it'll be 3 years since I've had a drink. And so I'm not telling you I don't partake.
Pretty much the whole time I've been doing this podcast.
Yes, I don't.
Because you had told me when I first met you that you were only like 2 months sober
Yep,
from when
you
we
got
first
it.
started doing
You got it.
podcasting.
Yeah, my pancreas tried to get out of my body, and I
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
that was
yeah.
probably enough. But anyway, it'll be 3 years. But I am one of those people that's either 0 or 100, right? I'm either all on or all off.
All off,
right?
yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
all off now. But
Which is a good thing.
this place, oh yeah, it's much better because I get to think about my life, which is wonderful. This place has always been a place that was sure easy to get liquor because a lot of people bring it in.
Oh yeah,
We've had
a lot of underage drinking too. It was really easy to underage.
No,
drink.
I'm talking about here.
Oh,
I'm talking about this
Yeah.
studio. Any of the studios we had.
Yeah, for sure.
It was always beer. There was always liquor. There was always the stuff.
Yeah,
And it's because people come in and they drink while they're doing their shows, and it loosens them up and all that stuff, and they take shots and whatever. That's great. But we've had this bottle of tequila in there on the shelf. This fucker's like 2.5 foot high or something.
Yeah,
It's
big,
gigantic.
like a gallon, like a big jug.
And so the guy just leaves it here and takes swigs out of it whenever he comes in. I'm like, okay, I guess we're your liquor storage now
Oh,
or
wow.
something. Yeah. Okay, next one, Connie. Let's say she's of drinking age, which she is now.
I just don't see her as being a drinker either. I just see them. I see maybe her and Bobby is smoking weed or something. Maybe. But
I don't see her doing
they're in
that
their
either.
they're in their college years, so I see them too. And this is like what I've noticed, just in general for like the generation that's up and coming.
Yeah.
They're still drinking, but they're standing back a little bit from it. There seems to be a halt a
There's
little
a lot
bit, not a big jump, but
Well-
compared to when I was a teenager drinking, by the time I was my son's age, my son's 13, about to be 14.
Yeah.
I'd already been drinking. I'd already
sure.
been smoking cigarettes, drinking,
Yeah.
smoking, other stuff like it.
Mhm.
And then I think now of where he's
Clove-
at 13,
clove cigarettes is what
clove
he's talking
cigarettes,
about.
left-handers.
Yeah.
But I see where he's at.
Well, you
it's
pass it
like-
on the right hand side, so
Yeah.
it has to be in your left hand. Yeah.
I think there's more for them to do than there was for us to do. I think is a lot of it. My son is not nearly as bored as I had to be.
I think you're right about that. Like they don't have to go anywhere to entertain themselves anymore,
No, they can
which
have
is
their
good
whole,
and bad.
It's good
you
and
know?
bad.
Yeah.
I like to think that my son has a nice balance of the two, but
That's good.
I feel like his close friends aren't people that he sees in his physical day-to-day life, like
yeah.
at
They're all
school.
online.
His close friend is like a Romanian kid that he plays video games with, and then a kid in San Antonio that he plays video games with. He's been playing video games with the one kid in San Antonio for like 6 years.
Wow.
They've been playing video games for a long
That's kinda cool.
time.
Yeah.
And and that's one of the things when I was younger and we were playing video games online, my dad or not necessarily my dad, but the older generation, they didn't really understand making friends that you don't see or hang out with. They didn't understand the value of it.
Well, they never had to do it. Right?
Well, yeah,
I
they
mean,
never had to do
They
it.
couldn't. The closest thing they had were pen pals,
Yeah.
and only geeks did that.
And not only
so
that, the friends that they did have, like the commonality was
They were
drinking
there.
or something.
Well,
or
also,
they were there.
They were there. Yeah, that's the commonality for the most part. But yeah, you're right.
But a lot of the common
them-
ground was around one
drinking,
thing,
yep.
and then when one person stopped or something like
Yep.
that, it all kind of went different. But like
Yeah.
with the internet, you're able to find people who are almost damn near identical to you, and like there's somebody out there that likes all the weird shit that you like. So like
There's a
that's what's great
lid
thing
for
about
every
online
pot.
communities.
Yeah. I think that Connie, I think she would have a couple of drinks and
Maybe
she would
some
be
spritzers.
freaking plastered at that because she doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
And so there's no buildup.
I see them too as like really hippie because
and
he's doing a
then-
fusion food restaurant. So I see them as all like, bohemianed out a
Could
little
be.
bit. That's how I feel about like
I think she would get a-
them too because they're very artistic people.
I think she'd get a couple of drinks in her, and then she'd start telling you stone cold facts about things, like things in the world,
Yeah.
or trying to explain math equations to you or whatever, that kind
They
of
remind me of like the flower power generation. They
Yeah, a
were
little
like
bit, yeah.
empowered by their parents to go and live
That's
a
true.
free life.
thing. All right, next one is Peggy Hill.
Peggy Hill. And
know we've
I'll
gotten-
refer back to what Black Ant said.
Mm-hmm.
And hey Chantel.
Hey, what's up, Chantel?
We're live on a Thursday.
Hello.
Yeah, we are. He said I wouldn't want to be around Peggy because she's bitchy enough sober. I
Yeah.
feel like it would increase when she's intoxicated.
Oh, I think it
feel like
would
she would
too.
get more annoying. She would talk more shit.
I think the fun part about being around Peggy while she's drunk is you get to watch the show. Because
That would be it. Yeah, that would be
my-
the only reason I would want to be around Peggy is to watch it all unfurl from a distance. I would want to see it, but I wouldn't want to be a part of it. Like an explosion, you don't want to
Yes.
get blown up, but
Yes.
they're cool to watch from a distance.
my wife, when she gets a couple of drinks in her, which she is not a big drinker at all, but because she is a cheap date as far as drinking goes, she gets a couple of drinks in her. She wants to tell every woman why their fashion choices are wrong.
Ooh.
And so that's how I feel Peggy would be, but times like 1,000, you know?
Times a
Like
thousand.
times
yeah.
1,000. But she'd be fun to watch. All right. We're getting down to the last three. Number 3, Luann.
That's somebody I just don't see as being a big drinker. I don't think she drinks. I think she's teetotaled because of the experiences that she had in her childhood and stuff with alcoholism. I just don't see her as somebody who drinks.
Yeah. I think if you ever got drunk and Luann got drunk, she'd hit on you. That's what I think.
Potentially.
Yeah, I don't think she can. I think she wants attention so badly. How about Bobby? Grown up Bobby.
Again, there's certain characters I'll entertain it, but I just don't. There's just certain characters that I don't see as being drinkers because Bobby watched 4 dudes stand in the alley drink all the time, and I just don't feel like Bobby is being a fartsy artsy type that he would drink necessarily, I guess. But if he did drink, he would be with the fruity drinks, the cocktails.
You think so?
Yeah. And then I think what he would do is he would be funny.
Yeah.
And he would just drink mocktails all night, and he would act.
Make you think
he
he's
would
drunk.
he would make you think he's drunk,
I can see that.
and then at the end of the
Yeah.
night, he would be like, "Ha ha! You're all wasted, and I'm just
I'm
sober."
driving.
yeah.
It's
Thanks for the fruit juice, bartend. yeah.
suckers. I think, and I have very little to go on as far as grown up Bobby because things may have completely changed. Who knows?
Yeah, for sure.
But I think Bobby probably has a beer occasionally. I just don't think Bobby's a big drinker.
Yeah, I don't either.
I just don't think that's a thing. All right, and
I think they do drugs instead.
Here's the last one, Mr. Hank Hill.
Oh yeah, I'd like a
Yeah.
beer with Hank. I think Hank would be
A
a
beer with Hank
reasonable
would be
person
great.
to have beer with.
Because Hank doesn't drink anything else.
Well, he doesn't drink anything else.
If he does,
it would be a
he
cold
gets
beer
drunk
drink.
and throws up on somebody
Yeah.
off the stage.
But not only that, I feel like it would be not that Hank's a man of few words.
Yeah, sure.
So you'd stand there, you'd get a. See, I think that's why they say yep, and there's not a lot of yapping.
Mm-hmm.
Because Hank's probably like, that's enough yapping. We're drinking beer.
Oh,
and-
sure.
We're drinking
Yeah.
beer and watching the roads.
Well, it's also
watching the street.
uncomfortable for men to tell each other about their day or their feelings or whatever, and so that has a lot to do
Yeah,
with it
for
as
some
well.
men. I like to talk about my feelings.
I like to talk about your feelings too. So I think Hank would be fun though. Just and it's just beer, and it's not like you're pounding them or anything.
Yeah, it's just a
You're
mellow drink.
You're
Drink.
sitting on the front porch and you're drinking a beer and you're watching the sun go down.
That's it.
That's about it. Maybe
Very
out on,
romantic.
maybe out on the lake. Maybe fishing.
Hank's
or,
an unintentional romantic. He stands out
he
there
is.
with his buddies and they just stare
Yeah.
at the sunset together. And he's like, shh,
the
enjoy the moment.
the other article I looked up this morning was about getting Hank Hill butt. And there was
that's
was
terrible.
a test as to like, do you have Hank Hill butt or not? And we'll go over that sometime. But
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
that was pretty funny. Okay, so let's do a little housekeeping.
Okay.
Number one, thank you to all of you. You are absolutely the best audience in the world.
Yeah, we appreciate all you guys.
We do appreciate you. You hang in there with us even through these goofy little episodes like this. But every once in a while, we need a week.
Yeah,
And
it's a good breather.
But here's the difference between us and everybody else who says that. We'll be back.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We'll be back next
I've looked
week doing the
through
regular stuff.
Well, I looked through again at some of the King of the Hill podcasts, and there's a few that started either after us or around the same time as us.
Sure.
And there's not too many of them that are still.
Well,
going.
again-
there's a few of them that dropped out. There was one out of Australia. Remember the Australian
Yeah,
guys?
I do. They stopped?
They haven't released an episode in a while.
Wow.
It's been a while since like February.
Okay, so
This year maybe.
Here's what I'm going to say. I am in a unique position
Yeah.
to offer that if anybody has trouble producing their podcast like that and it's a good show, please contact me.
Yeah, for sure. If you have a good
Because-
show, for sure.
Because we have 200 plus shows on the network, and very few of them really catch my attention. You know what I mean? I mean, some of them are just work, putting stuff
Yeah.
out. And we do a lot of sports.
Doing what you're paid to do thing.
We
kinda
do a
thing,
lot of
yeah.
sports, and it ends up being the same stories.
Isn't it
over and
crazy
over.
that it's the King of the Hill in the comic books
That's it?
that
Yeah.
are doing the
But
out
if-
of the 200 shows?
Well, what I'm saying is, like, if you're putting out a King of the Hill show and you've hit that wall, call me. Let me know.
Yeah, if you're doing a King of the Hill
Yeah.
show,
Or
crash
if
and burn.
you're doing another show where you do the same sort of format, and
It's a really good format.
and you have hit a wall,
if you
let
get
me know.
get in a groove.
I will roguemedianetwork.com. Just go on there and say, I heard Mike open his big mouth or whatever, and that's fine. I'll take it from there.
Yeah. Also, we're trying to push the YouTube a lot.
Yep.
A lot more. So if you're listening to this and you're listening to it on a audio only platform or somewhere else,
Like Apple.
Apple or whatever, if you could just go over to the YouTube and just like a couple of videos,
that would
share
be
it,
wonderful.
subscribe.
Comment.
Also reviews. I'm gonna start asking probably every
Oh,
show
heck
for
yeah.
this. We would love it if people would leave more reviews. We don't have a whole
I'd love it. Yeah.
a whole lot of reviews or whatever, and we would love to see more reviews on the page. That really helps us out. The more reviews that you give us in a positive light, that's the more we climb up like the algorithm.
Absolutely.
A big part of podcasting and doing this and getting it to more people and more faces is engagement.
Mhm.
So the more you guys like, comment, subscribe, share things with people, just anywhere, in your, whether it be verbal, mouth to mouth, mouth to mouth resuscitation. What is it? Isn't that what it is? No,
If anybody
not
word of mouth,
word of mouth is what
if
I was
anybody
looking
is
for.
if anybody's in a terrible car wreck and you need resuscitation, we'll tell you. We'll give you mouth to mouth and then tell you about our podcast. That's how that works. Yeah.
But yeah,
No,
so
it's any of that, man. If you can leave reviews, if you
yeah,
can,
we would love
that would
engagement.
be wonderful.
Some engagement.
Also, I love this. I love the feedback, the immediate feedback here. This is
I really like
fantastic.
streaming. That's
Yeah,
what I
it's
said. I
great.
think we should try to do like a special event where it's just like me and you talking shit and barbecuing or something.
Well, I think we could probably, we've been talking about
Grilling
this
hot
forever,
dogs.
but we could watch something and just riff, and I think that would be plenty.
yeah,
But I
we
would
could do that.
love to have people do it with us, like just join a watch party with us or whatever.
Yeah, we could do a watch party.
Let's watch some really shitty movies.
I have the mail guy. I think is the one
Oh,
that
yeah?
set it up. He set up a Discord for us, and I have it set
Yeah.
up.
Oh,
I haven't shared the link or anything
Yeah.
with it out yet, but there is a Bois Discord. I will go ahead, I guess, and get the invite link and that, and post that on social media. So if that's something that you're interested in, let me know. Message me, DM me, or whatever on BWAAKOTH, and that's on Instagram and Twitter. Those are the only ones I'll probably answer,
And
unless you email me at
coincidentally enough, the email is
BWAAKOTH@gmail.com.
There
So
you
you
go.
can email me there. Also, I'm going to try to add some more stuff to the YouTube community page, like posts and stuff like that. And then before we go live, I'm going to start trying to have it set up to where it's already there with like the waiting screen and everything like that. And yeah.
That'd be
So
cool.
we
That'd be cool.
appreciate everybody for hanging out. And if you're on the live stream right now on YouTube, we're still going to be here even when we're finished with this recording. So
yeah, we'll be here for a few minutes.
So don't go
Um,
nowhere.
Also, by the way, there's a Patreon page if you want to go
Oh, yeah.
help support
Patreon.
us. It's $3 a month. It just helps us keep the lights on. It helps Rusty take vacations.
Yeah. Also, I'm going to set up the.
It does not.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
I wish.
Yeah.
I'm going to set up the members on YouTube,
Mm.
and then we'll probably try to do some members only streams.
Okay, that's cool.
I want to say that
Those could be your.
that whenever we do like a special stream or whatever, where it's
Mhm.
me and Mike doing barbecue or whatever the hell
Sure,
it is that
whatever
we
it
decide,
is,
whatever
yeah.
it is that we decide to do, bake a
Yeah.
cake.
Make a cake.
Yeah, we should do that. Like where I put my arms underneath yours. And
Oh,
we
that
bake
sounds
a cake
wonderful.
like that or
I'm-
something.
I'm
But
zero in for that.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about doing that. I don't really like getting that close to men's backs. But
That would be cool
yeah.
though. That'd be
yeah,
cool.
something like that. Just
Speaking
whatever.
of-
Just some kind of
Speaking
something.
of cakes, I'm going to give my wife some more credit here. I sent her a recipe because I thought it was weird.
Was it weird?
A Jello cake?
Yeah,
you
it's
ever,
weird.
You ever had a Jello cake?
Yeah. Isn't
So-
that where they like put the Jello mix in the cake mix?
So here's what she did. She made a cake, then she poked a bunch of holes in it, and then she poured the liquid Jello over it and let it sit. And then she made homemade whipped cream and put it over the top, and then sliced strawberries and put it
That
on
sounds
top.
interesting.
Oh my God, it was good. Oh baby,
Yeah, that sounds really interesting.
she is a fantastic cook. Like I said, she's going through her PhD now, and so she's not had a ton of time. So when she does cook, she cooks something fabulous.
Oh, PhD, huh? Well, congratulations.
yeah, well-
how much longer she got to go?
She's got probably 3 semesters, I think, left.
Oh, so that's
Yeah, pretty
not,
close.
Not
Pretty
too far
close.
away.
Yeah,
I know that dissertation.
it
kicks
is.
ass.
Yeah, it's been kicking her ass.
Is she doing an
and
educational doctorate?
Yeah,
or-
yeah. That's the thing she's in. But she made banana pudding, and then the next week she made this Jello cake. So if I don't fit in frame at some point, you'll know why.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, there
that's
you
why.
go.
She keeps making cool stuff.
Keeps making good stuff.
But anyway, thank you guys. We
Yeah, we
appreciate your
appreciate
help. If you want the recipe for the Jello cake, let me know. I'll send it to you. And we will see you again next week.
Ooh, Wimatanya.
Wimatanya, indeed.
All right, that's Monday.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production. Are you a podcaster? Let's talk podcast hosting. Are you tired of your current podcast host? Need real support in a community that gets it? At Rogue Media Network, we offer top-tier podcast hosting services to help you thrive. From hosting and distribution to dedicated support, we've got you covered. Starting as low as $25 a month. Join our community of passionate podcasters today. Contact us at hello@roguemedianetwork.com.